These are the Bru people scattered in the state of Mizoram and also in some parts of the northern Tripura district. However, this entire community is known to be the aboriginals of the state Tripura. According to the government of India, they are the Reangs of Tripura, a total misconception and a misidentification. Now, it all started between the period of 1974 and 1976 under the Congress reign. A hydropower project was commissioned over the Gomti River, which led more than 27,000 indigenous people to lose their fertile lands and their homes. Hence, they had to flee to their neighboring state Mizoram in search of a new settlement. But that is not an end to the Brus struggle. In 1997, they had to face ethnic clashes with the Mizos and had to move back to Tripura. The issue came in limelight when Brus started to demand their ADC. Mizoram civil society stated and claimed that the Brus are migrants, internally displaced persons who have moved to Mizoram for various reasons and therefore are not natives to the land. After moving back to Tripura, they settled in 6 different relief camps counting North Tripura's Kanchanpur and Panisagar subdivisional block, namely Ashapara, Naisingpara, Hajachera, Hamsapara, Khakchangpara and Kaskau. Following the 23 years of dislocation and migration, finally the governments of Mizoram and Tripura, along with the government of India, had signed an agreement for their permanent settlement in the state of Tripura itself. In light of our data and by the help of our sources, we went in search of such a settlement camp by the name Hambaipara, located in a place called Lavanchera under the Manu subdivision of the Dhalai district.
My name is E.J. Chorki, and I'm the Assistant in Charge cum General Secretary of the Bru Settlement Implementing Committee. And my responsibility is to look after the people of this Hambaipara village, the newly Bru settlement location.
So these are the houses which are being built in the newly settled Hambaipara village.
Hello.
This red house is the dormitory room, and people who want to settle here have to first settle in the dormitory room. Right now, as far as my knowledge is concerned, there is no any problems in this regard. So, during this 23 years, let me repeat it briefly about the ethnic classes between Mizos and the Bru community. So, in Mizoram, we feel unsafe, linguistically, and even our culture also. But one thing which I feel so much of surprise is that in Mizoram, the minorities are treated like a slave. Because I do like to say that Mizoram is Africa in India, where minorities are facing apartheid state. And meanwhile, the Union of India say that every inch in India, once I met Ministry of Home Affairs, I'm being told by them that every inch of India has been ruled by the state government. That's why, in order to solve politically, you need to first make a compromise with the state government. Then only we can give you autonomous district council. Because government of India cannot forcefully give you autonomous district council without the consent of the state government of Mizoram.
People here now are living with a faith and hope of proper survival. According to Mr. Chorki, this is a turning point in their life. People here want to transform this place into a model and a modern settlement. Their dream is to recognize this village to focus on their rich culture and maintain their identity.
ऐसे शूट कर रहे हैं भैया
शूट कर रहे हैं
कैमरा लेके
वहाँ पर चालीस सामने का ताश आपका स्टील है या जाए गुम्बा ऐसा पापू को मत आजा अब आप मोबाइल नंबर है आधार नंबर
Though now they are the part of the greater Tripura state, the community is still lagging behind in some sectors of development. It is primarily in the sections of road connectivity, education, basic health infrastructure, and economic growth.
We want development. That's why I personally do like to emphasize that we need development to be first and not peace. If there is a development, automatically there is a peace. That's why we don't need to say that we have to maintain peace first, but we have to maintain development first. If there is a development, there will be no trouble. There will be no disturbance. If there is development, automatically there is a peace. That's why for our people, we need development first. In Tripura also, as I have been traveled in so many places, I have seen that many of the people, especially among our community, and they are not developed. Such a development scheme has not been reached to the remote area, to the rural area. So even road also, road connectivity, and they are several times called as unreached people. After 76 India independence, celebrating 76 India independence, we are still, road connection is still not reaching out the Bru village here in Tripura, in some of the village, and not all, not at all, but some of the village. That's why state government should focus development first, and they should focus first remote area. Then the state will automatically develop, because if the rural area is not developed, the state is still poor. The state looks poor. That's why rural area should be a priority issue at this point of time.
Mr. Chorkhi led us and wanted us to witness the present scenario of the temporary educational infrastructure which they have set up in this village. These red house dormitories now have been turned into classrooms for the village kids.
And this is school of our village, Hambaipara, and there are 3 dormitory rooms. So starting from class 1 to class 5 is running right now, and it will be extended till up to class 8. But now it is temporary, and that's why after construction it will be started up to class 1 to class 8. But for the time being, so we do like to say that something is better than nothing. So just without remaining empty house, we are going to utilize this dormitory room as the school of our village. Now we are using these 3 rooms. We have about 215 students from class 1 to class 5. No teachers are not able to cover such a huge number of students. That's why it has been requested to the authority to give us more faculty members, so that student can be impart a good education here. So we hope for the best.
Hello, brother. Hello.
Regarding education facility, now we have a ICDS center, and one school construction in our village will be constructed from this week itself, and we are also demanding Eglavia model school up to class 12. Then only we can enhance education here in our village. So now we are 500 families, and with the splitted families from the parental house, we will be 600 families here in our village. And after 10 years, we will cross 1,000. 1,000. We will cross automatically 1,000. And we need, with the other local residents, we have to make a model village, like a town system. And the works are started. And we are focusing on especially development. And educationally, this Eglavia model school will enhance education automatically. Because in order to study class 10 and class 12, we don't need to go to other city also, like Agartala or Ambassa or Dharmanagar. If you've seen Dharmanagar is so far away from here, around 50 or 60 kilometers away from our village. So what will be the vehicle fare? It will cost 200 rupees or 300 rupees. So instead of spending such amount of money unnecessarily, without spending a single pice, we can pass class 10 and class 12 here. After passing class 12, our sons and daughters can be admitted to the college in Agartala also. And moreover, if some of them have money, they can also admit it to Shillong also, Shillong and Guwahati also. That's why first we need this Eglavia model school. And 3 days ago, Additional Secretary Revenue Department, Gulf of Tripura, visited our village, Mr. P. Acharya, and has been assured to us that this Eglavia model school will be given for the people of Hambaipara, this village. So we have a very high expectation that the state government of Tripura will not rule out our demand for this Eglavia model school. Moreover, it is one of the point within the agreement of 16 January, signed on 16 January 2020. Quadrilateral agreement in presence of the Union Home Minister Sri Amit Shahji was also present during signing an agreement. So according to that agreement, every Bru settlement location should be given Eglavia model school. So now only one of the location, Bandarima, is only approved. So we are going to ask the state government in this issue, why other locations are still pending. And they are only approved Bandarima, which is in North Tripura, 30 kilometers away from Kanchanpur, and that location has been granted Eglavia model school. But other locations are still not answered properly, and they say that yes, it will be given. And anyhow, our committee is planning to approach the concerned authority and the concerned department, especially the tribal welfare department, in order to urge them to implement this school without further delay.
According from what we have got to know, the Brus are now getting employment in government sectors. Taking the example of this village, 14 people are now employed.
In our village, 4 Anganwadi workers and 4 helpers, and 1 pump operators, and 4 ASA workers, and 2 health workers. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 persons are employed in our village newly within this year. 14 persons.
While for the overall benefit of the community, the Government of India, under the NREGA scheme, has approved to build check dams where they can release fish ponds to generate revenue out of it.
Economically to survive, suppose in a one check dam there will be, we will put there 10,000 fishes, and the 20 nose of check dam we have to put it 2 lakhs of fishes, and after 3 years, see, if 1 kg per fish, 100, and if it is a 150 rupees, 150 rupees multiplied by 2 lakhs, how many rupees? 1 crore and something. So in this way we are going to make check dam for the community purposes. Current has been connected to there. Whensoever there is no current, we cannot have the water. So when the current comes, and automatically the pump, we have already employed one pump operator. He is regularly operating, looking after this pump house, and one more pump house is there. So there is a turbidity of water, which had already been tested that there is too much of iron, that for drinking it is totally unsafe. That's why we requested the DWSS due Manu, and the water iron removal plant, that machine has been ordered from West Bengal, Kolkata, and still it is not reaching to Agartala, said the DWSDO. That's why we are waiting for that iron removal plant. After reaching to this Hambaipara in our village, and we are going to put it here for the removal of iron. So we expect that authority will do the needful.
On our way to this village, we came across this health sub-center which has been built quite far from the village. So we forwarded our question about the health issues which they have been facing presently.
So right now, Chalingta, SDMO Chalingta, Dr. Paul, is the sub-divisional medical officer. He is dealing all this issue. Sub-divisional medical officer, Chalingta, Dr. Paul. And here the medical workers are very good. And they are very good, and whensoever we request them, automatically they approach to us. And sometimes if it is in emergency, they send ambulance to take the patient to the hospital, and we admit it to the hospital, in a sub-divisional hospital. And if it cannot be if it cannot be recovered there, and they will be approached to the district level hospital. So such is a system. And now we are demanding to build one health sub center here. They say that the health department authorities say that there is a criteria in order to provide health sub center, but according to the population criteria, we deserve to get this health sub center. Now we have one health sub center which is in the jungle. Nobody goes there. So health sub center should not be built in the jungle. We very frankly told to the authority, sir, health sub center should not be built in a jungle. It should be built within the village. Our people cannot go to the jungle. You may have seen it on the way, very far from here, on the way, just at the Tri Junction. You may have seen near the road. That is a health sub center, Labanchera Health Sub Center. So we request them to build here in our own village health sub center, and they promised us, they assure us that health sub center will also be constructed soon. And Lalchera PHC, there is a one hospital, primary health center, one hospital at Lalchera. All the health workers, so they have a team. Their team visited here 2 times in a week. 2 times in a week. So medicines have also been provided us. And so here we have 2 health workers. So in their residence, all the medicines are kept in their residence. Because right now we don't have a health sub center, because we cannot go to the jungle, which has been built in the jungle. No? We cannot go there. That's why we have to look after the people here very easily, without going very far from here in a jungle area. That's why I also strongly complain to the authority. Why the authority is building this health sub center in the jungle? And they say that there was a mistake. There was a mistake, and they expect that there will people will settle there. But it has not been selected for the settlement. That's why we request them to shift the health sub center to our own village. So right now in a health we don't have any problem.
One more, you have this camp was established in which year?
In the 9 April 2021.
21. And before 21, from where your people has moved? From Kano?
From the North Tripura. So I myself also living in the North Tripura, and there is a one biggest camp called Naisingpara. Naisingpara is the biggest Bru relief camp with more than 20,000 population.
Is it still active?
Yes, still exists, and the camp is still exists, and people are less now, little bit less now, because
You are moving
moving to a
other
different location.
different locations set up by the government.
Yeah, set up by the government.
Okay.
Thank you.
After witnessing this present scenario of the Bru settlement and having a long discussion with Mr. Chorkhi, one fact we are assured is that the 23 years of Bru outcry has literally come to an end. Now it is all about peace and development. It is not surprising that many of you have heard of the small ethnic community from Tripura, which has fought for its survival and identity. These people working for the village development are their own. As the majority of the population is unemployed, they must learn how to earn the basic income to sustain their families. Furthermore, the majority of the population remain uneducated due to migrations and displacements, resulting in unskilled development and unemployment. Their primary goal was to survive and safeguard their culture and identity. Now from our perspective, their future lies on the development which can be achieved only through better education. As said by Mr. Chorkhi, secondary level educational infrastructures should be immediately built and provided to enhance the knowledge of the upcoming young Bru generation. The Bru community as a whole is in the development phase, so it may take a while for the proper outcome to emerge. In accordance with the current pace of development, a lot of opportunities will arise for them, especially in the tourism sector. So let's hope for the best, as we all belong from one region, which is Northeast. To reach our desired outcome in the near future, we must forget all the racist discrimination and stand as one. The strength of our unity can withstand uprooting. Thank you.